With the gaming industry nowadays mostly comprising of rehashed ideas and trusted franchises such as FIFA and Call of Duty, innovation seems to be lacking a bit. For a while now, we've needed something fresh, something completely new, something that will allow us to get lost in a world of fleshed out excitement. Luckily for us, Cyberpunk 2077 is looking to be that something. The first-person shooter RPG is set to release on November the 19th, 2020, and honestly needs no further introduction. So here is 15 things you need to know about Cyberpunk 2077. And if you enjoy the video, drop a like, or you'll end up like this guy. Number 15. What is Cyberpunk 2077? Cyberpunk 2077 is an upcoming role-playing game both developed and published by CD Projekt Red, the very same developers who introduced us to other role-playing masterpieces such as The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And although we can expect some similarities between the two games, Cyberpunk is looking to be a beast all on its own. Players can expect an incorporation of classic RPG elements that have become part and parcel of what we expect, ranging from crafting to the customization of your character to represent the build and gameplay style you're used to. But unlike most RPGs, Cyberpunk is set to take you on a first-person shooter's journey through the ruthlessness of Night City. Loot, upgrades, weapons, gameplay driven by choices, and customization options you've never seen before, all set in a dystopian future with an insane amount of main and side quests to discover. This is Cyberpunk. Number 14. Look the way you want to look. When talking about aesthetic customization, Cyberpunk has taken a giant leap in the right direction. Suffice to say, there are a great number of options to make V both look and feel like a cyberpunk version of yourself, regardless of who you might be. Although it is true that you can choose between being a male or female, this is the future we are talking about, people, where cybernetic enhancements are rife. This means that regardless of what gender you choose, you will still have access to all character modifications, be they male, female, or fluid. And when I mentioned earlier that there are a great number of options in terms of customizations, I was not joking around. We have different skin types, hairstyles, eyes and eyebrows, mouths, ears, 8 bits of cyberware, and even things like scars, tattoos, piercings, and even your genitalia. You can choose different shapes and sizes of your genitalia that apparently plays into what characters can be romanced. They have really gone above and beyond when it comes to character customization in Cyberpunk 2077. Number 13. Looking back at your story. Now, it's not just your aesthetics you'll be able to customize in this game, as you'll also be faced with the choice between 3 backstories that will determine who you are as a person. Do you watch The Fast and the Furious religiously and live by the Toretto Code? Then why not choose the life path of Street Kid, where you mesh well with those living in squalor around you? Or maybe you're more of a Mad Max fan. If the post-apocalyptic desert of the Badlands is more your scene, then Nomad life path is the one for you. And then there's the Corpo backstory, perfect for the suits that love money and power. Whatever decision you make, it will bring with it an entirely different prequel to the game, but it will also influence how you fare in various situations. A Corpo, for example, might find it quite difficult to survive among the street gangs of Night City. This feature in and of itself adds a ton of replayability to this game, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Number 12. A real perky personality. Another choice that is left to you in this game is your actual character build. This consists of the RPG attributes of strength and constitution, intelligence, reflexes, technical ability, and core. Each point invested into an attribute makes certain sub-branches available to you, influencing your personality and gameplay style. If you choose to dedicate yourself to the path of strength, for example, you'll open up perk paths such as Street Brawler and Annihilation, allowing you to carry double the load or regenerate health during combat. Choosing to become more proficient with the technical side of life, on the other hand, will open up crafting and engineering options such as the creation of clothing and weapons with mods already installed. Number 11. Modifications and augmentations. Now try not to worry too much about your chosen build, as there will be ample opportunity to customize V throughout your journey. In fact, almost everything in your inventory can be modified in some way or another, and this rings double true for yourself. If you're finding it difficult to hit your targets, go ahead and install a cybernetic eye augmentation that drastically improves your aiming ability. Or, for those diplomats out there, insert a translator chip directly into your brain to open up more dialogue options. It really is as easy as that. And since cyberware is clearly the usual in Night City, the implementation of these upgrades actually fits into the broader world, allowing immersion to be left unbroken. Number 10. Spoiled for choice. If you're not yet convinced that Cyberpunk will leave you spoiled insofar as choices go, keep in mind that both main and side quests can be tackled in a variety of ways. You could always run into battle guns blazing, soaking up bullets with your reinforced armor and skin. Or on the contrary, you could decide to sneak your way through the patrolled area, assassinating goons and hiding their bodies in a very Hitman-inspired style. CD Projekt Red have even teased that the choices you have already made, coupled with the dialogue you have exhausted, might cause quests to end up looking completely different. You might even, in some instances, be able to talk your way out of certain boss battles. Not that you would want to do that, but the fact that the dialogue is that in depth is only a great thing. Number 9. The weapons of Cyberpunk. Now, the weapons in Cyberpunk have been split into the categories of melee, smart, power, and tech, each having their own pros and cons. Are you more of a tank build? Then grab yourself a power weapon like the Carnage pump action shotgun to get up close and personal with your enemies. Less of a tank? Then hide behind cover with a smart weapon like the TKI-20 and watch as your bullets, well, do this. Or maybe you'd prefer to pick people off from a distance, then carry a tech weapon like the Tsunami sniper rifle with chargeable rounds to penetrate even the hardest of skulls. Your choices don't stop there though, as you'll also be able to select from a number of cybernetic combat enhancements like the Mantis Blades, which allows you to go all out Wolverine Berserker and hack through your enemies with ease. Whatever you desire, there's sure to be a weapon to tickle your fancy. Number 8. Time to hack. In a dystopian future rife with cyberware, you bet your bottom dollar that hacking is going to be an incredibly effective tool in V's arsenal. Although there will be a fair share of plugging yourself into an interface and playing a mini-game to upload your own nefarious programming, hacking can also be used in stealth and combat scenarios. This form of quick hacking can be accessed once you've scanned your environment and chosen an enemy or item to interact with. You can, for example, choose to overheat the cyberware of an approaching enemy, causing thermal damage, or even distract him by making a noise on his communications unit, allowing for easier assassination. The point is, there are many things you can do with the hacking in this game to give yourself an advantage. Number 7. It's all about the source material. Cyberpunk 2077 is actually based on the pen and paper tabletop RPG called Cyberpunk 2020, which was created by Mike Pondsmith around 30 years ago. Since CD Projekt Red has actually been working alongside the original creator, we can expect a world and rule set similar to the analog experience, which revolved around the adventures of Johnny Silverhand. Fans of the original experience will be thrilled to hear that Johnny Silverhand is back, but this time in the form of a digitized ghost that V is able to see due to a specialized implant in the brain. Better yet, this crazy character is being portrayed by the one and only Keanu Reeves, who also reportedly has the most dialogue in this game, not including the playable V, of course.
Wake the f*** up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Number 6. The setting of Night City. As a resident of the overpopulated metropolis that is Night City, you can expect to see streets littered by gangs and militants who in actual effect are being directed by the true enemy. large corporations who care nothing more than their bottom line and controlling the consumer. It is in this neon-clad setting that the main storyline of Cyberpunk will be taking place, as well as a vast number of side quests that will be accessible naturally through existing dialogue or taking on contracts. Number 5. The frightful factions of Night City. Speaking of factions, there are a large number of them populating Night City, which could become useful or troublesome depending on your affiliations. These groups range from the Animals, which are mostly depicted as shirtless, steroid-abusing knuckleheads, to Maelstrom, a gang that takes on an alien appearance after having become addicted to the joys of body modification. Number 4. The ultimate version of dialogue fluidity. Whoever you choose to interact with in this game, you can be sure to do so fluidly, as Cyberpunk 2077 boasts dialogue options that are both unrestricted and based on your own choices. Approach an NPC and dialogue will appear towards the bottom of your screen, allowing you to not only move around while engaging, but simply walk away to ignore the unwelcome interruption. This means less time staring at an unresponsive NPC while choosing a dialogue option, and provides far more immersion for the player in general being this way. It's definitely a great feature in this game. Number 3. The art of braindancing. So braindancing is a very unique feature in this game. It's essentially the ability to have recorded experiences directly scanned into your brain so that V is able to live through both the emotions and experiences of a specific person you have chosen. By glitching out of this experience, V is also able to pull off some Batman-like detective work by analysing the environment in a number of ways. Be wary though, as while you wear the braindancing headset and explore these recordings, you will be both unconscious and vulnerable to real-world attacks, so make sure that you choose when to braindance wisely. Number 2. The Badlands. Now, if you ever get tired of the overpopulated neon mess which is Night City and the recordings explorable therein, you can always take V on a journey through the desert wasteland that surrounds it. This area has been affectionately named the Badlands. By choosing the life path of a nomad, V actually starts off in this area, having to brave the desert heat before reaching Night City in a Mad Max inspired vehicle. Number 1. Getting from A to B. On the topic of vehicles, there are so many to choose from in this game. Everything from armor-plated cars to sleek superbikes that make the speed demons inside all of us shriek in enjoyment. In true cybernetic fashion, you will also be able to call your owned motor vehicle to your side with the press of a button, and watch in satisfaction as it automatically arrives on the scene.
Initiating combat mode. Go! Destination confirmed.
That's what I'm talking about!
This is similar to how we are able to call Roach back in The Witcher 3, just way cooler. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like down below. Doing so will ensure that you receive this beautiful batch of pancakes freshly made to your taste. All jokes aside, you can expect to see a ton more Cyberpunk content from me closer to the release and when the game releases. Stuff like secrets, tips and tricks, Easter eggs, news type videos and much more is what you can expect. So be sure to subscribe if you are new around, and I will catch you guys in the next video.